Hello, I did it audience. Glad you're here. Glad you clicked on the video. Love it if you hit the subscribe button and love it if you hit the like button. So excited to do another video on Scylla's ambush. So this is going to be about the later stages of Scylla's ambush, and what I'm going to cover is stage 40, 41, and 42. Now I've completed 43 and 44, and I'm working on 45. But I'm going to save those for another video just because the video is just going to be way too long. So we're going to focus on 40, 41, and 42. I'll add chapters in the video, so if you're working on a certain stage, you can just skip to that chapter. Now the way I'm going to do these videos though, or these different stages, is I'm going to talk about my main setup, my setup that I used at first to get past the stage, and then I'm going to talk about alternate setups. And when I talk about alternate setups, I'm going to mainly focus on not legendary heroes, like who can you throw in that is epic. So I hope this video will cover a gamut of a lot of different players, and not just because I know not everyone has certain legendary characters, and it doesn't really do you very good if you don't have that character. So the characters that I'm going to focus on, the heroes I'm going to focus on, are heroes that I think everyone should have at some stage or some level. Let's get into it. So on this level, you have to have a supporter, a healer, and one manipulator. So this is my main setup that I used to get past it. So with it, since it was a blue enemy, I put in, this is one area where Vasco worked well. I also put in, obviously, Odysseus. Now for the supporter, that is my go-to. That is Margaret. Where are you, Margaret? There's Margaret. Healer is my go-to, Ashoka. And my manipulator, my go-to is Mozart. And the reason why I use Mozart actually works out really good. Let me click on this hero real quick. His initial charge is 2 seconds, then it's 10 seconds after that. And he's got really good attack speed. So 74 hits a minute. And that's one of the main reasons that I like using him, is his attack speed. For a manipulator, he does a decent amount of area damage, and he also stuns the targets for 2.25 seconds. And the second area damage, he does 131%, and then stuns the target for 2.25 seconds. And then further activation gets even stronger. So because these battles are really long, his skill works out really well. So I got an area damage there. Probably another type of relic that would work good is increased damage over time. All right, this is my main setup. Now I'm not gonna play this through with this setup. What I want to show you is kind of the lowest level that I do the setup, that where you probably have those heroes. So what you could throw in, take Vasco out. You could probably throw in Thomas Edison. I could take Mozart out, and you could throw in Beethoven. So with this setup, you will be able to get it. You should have all these heroes here: Ashoka, Margaret, Thomas Edison, Beethoven, and Odysseus. All right, I'm going to start this battle. Obviously, I'm going to speed through this battle, either cut it out or do a speed video. And then we'll come back at the very end. Okay, so we're at the end here. You can see we got 1 minute and 23 seconds. Odysseus is doing some heavy damage. Thomas Edison is doing some heavy damage. Speaking of Thomas Edison, I want to call out to a YouTuber that's is doing a lot of videos on heroes of history. His channel's name is Taz Devil TV. He does some really great videos. He's got a great video on using Thomas Edison in this on this event. We're almost done here. Minute left. Final hits. Boom, done. We're going to take a look at the battle stats real quick before we move on to the next battle. So look at Odysseus, Thomas Edison, 755K, the MVP. He does, most people will have Thomas Edison, and he does a ton of damage in this event. And as I mentioned before, here, let me bring this up real quick before we go on. Let me bring up the screen. Come on, up here. So Taz Devil TV, I'll put a link down below, but he has been recently doing Heroes of History video, and he really has some great videos out there, some great tips. And this video right here is really when he talks about Thomas Edison. And at the time, I wasn't using Thomas Edison too very much. I don't know why I was just glossing over him, but he is an awesome hero. Also, someone put in a comment about Thomas Edison that helped out a lot, and I started using him more often. So let's put that down and to continue on. Now we go on to stage 41. Okay, I have to tell you about stage 41. Stage 41 is an absolute beast. It is tough. To this day, I do not consistently get past it. So it always comes down right to the wire. And I cannot get past it with Odysseus. So basically, I don't really have an alt for this because there's only one way that I can get past this. And so this is my setup, and it is taking everything in there. So I got Margaret, so the supporter. So let's throw in Margaret. Come on, Margaret. Where are you? Where are you, Margaret? I know Margaret's low level. Margaret is only level 60. Okay, now for the area damage. Who is it going to be? It is going to be Thomas Edison. I tried it with Menez, and I couldn't get it. I get close, but it's just not there. Thomas Edison does better. So, and then the manipulator is Mozart. Now, can I get it with Beethoven? Maybe, but I don't know. It goes, I don't think so. It goes down right to the wire. Now, up here, because Odysseus is such at a disadvantage with the green, it actually is better that I use my very high level Achilles. Achilles is level 125, so he's actually one of my highest level heroes. Him and I think William Wallace. And then the next hero that I need to have a healer out there is Ashoka. So this is basically my setup to get past this level, and it is tough every time. All right, we're going to start the battle. Now, I'll talk about it. Achilles is actually a beast. So everyone out here, if you look at it, got a lot of fire. So most of the heroes out here are getting the bonus, but Achilles is just fast. His attack speed is fast. His skills go off fast, and he's fast enough to get me past it. Now I'll cut away from this, and we'll come back to the very end, and you'll see how close it is. Hopefully, I make it past this time. Okay, so we're at the end of stage 2. Or wave 2. Now, in order for me to beat wave 3, I need to be at around 1 minute and 45 seconds. Okay, I'm 1 minute and 43 seconds. Let's see if I could do it. I'm telling you, this thing comes down to the wire every single time. And I'm just not fast enough with the skills, so I have to do it on auto. See, what hurts me is when Achilles, when they summon the little minion soldiers, and he has to use his skills on them rather than Scylla's head. Oh, Ashoka, get out of the way! Get out of the way! Ashoka, you're causing problems, man. Causing big time problems. Okay, we're down to 3 heads left. I'm really worried about that part where Ashoka was in the way. I was feeling really good about stage 3. Feeling real good. And then Ashoka has to get in front of Achilles. I guess he had something to say. Something important. Wasn't that important. Okay. Thomas Edison's about to finish his head off. That should be done with. Now they can narrow it down. I think I'm okay. Yes, we're down. We got 25 seconds. We got the final head. We're going to finish this. I'm telling you, we're going to finish it. There's enough time. This is actually going to be probably one of my record finishes. 12 seconds. Awesome. Finished. Done. So that is how you get past stage 41. Now, is it possible to get past 41 with Beethoven? Possible. Not sure. I don't think so. I think I had to use Mozart. But, you know, you could throw them in, give it a try. Now we're going on to stage 42. Did that show first victory? No. Okay, we're on stage 42. Now, with 42, let's clear the board. All right, we need a manipulator, we need a defender, and we need a healer. So we have to use 3 spots there. So healer, Ashoka, manipulator. Where's my manipulator? Come on, Mozart, right there. Now, with shield, what am I on? Stage 2. I can get away with this with William Wallace. So William Wallace can get in there. Definitely can finish it. Now we throw in our little awesome. I didn't look at the battle stats on that last one. Unfortunately, I did not. Thomas Edison, and then Odysseus is in there. Let's move you back here. So this is basically my go-to, and I can finish it with this setup at all. Now we're going to use alternate and show you how you can get passes. So basically, you could throw in, sorry, where are you, Beethoven? There we go. And then I also could take out William Wallace. And alternate, you can get past it with, hold on. Got to find the hero. I'm picking a non-legendary defender. Not him. Not him. Which defender am I? A purple defender. You can go really low. Oh, yes. This is it. You can go really low. I can get this with Titus. I can go really low. So, you know, there's a bunch of other defenders that may be good against this. I got this guy right here. He may be good. Deals 472. Now, why is Titus good? Because he's purple. And let's take a look at his skills. So he's a defender, but he does single damage. So he's a defender and also does single damage. So he does a good amount of single damage and he shields himself. All right, so this is the setup that we're going to use. So obviously Titus' attack speed is not as fast as Odysseus, but you see how he's holding his own. You see the damage that he's doing here. He's definitely holding his own, and at the end we'll take a look at the battle stats so you can see how well he does. So see you at the end of the battle. Okay, so we're finishing off the final head on the second wave, about to head into the third wave. There we go. We're now into the third wave. So I'm at 1 minute and 49 seconds. So I'm above that dreaded 1 minute and 45 seconds. So I think I should finish this okay with no problems. Titus is a little bit down in health, but Ashoka did a nice heal. Okay, who's going to get rid of the first head first? Is it going to be Titus or Odysseus? Which one is going to win with the first head? It looks close. It looks close. Titus has a slight head. Oh, he's got his skill in. Oh, I think Titus is going to take it. Titus took it. All right, we're at 1 minute and 7 seconds. We're moving along down to the final 3 heads. This is when things move a little bit faster because they can concentrate their hits a little bit. So with this setup, it's nice that Thomas Edison's got his bonus damage. I got Titus with his bonus damage, so I got 2 heroes out there doing bonus damage. Okay, we're at the final 41 seconds, and we're down to the last head. We're going to take a look at the battle stats at the very end and see who did the most damage. What's your call? What's your call? Is it going to be Thomas Edison? Or is Titus is going to be the sleeper hit? Let's see. Thomas Edison, almost 1 million. Okay, I don't understand that. I don't understand these stats there. You saw how much damage he was doing. You saw that how much he was whittling away. Only 93K? Really? Okay, and then Odysseus was at 600K. I don't know. I have to question that number there. Have to question that number. Maybe the game didn't believe it. Said, you can't throw in Titus and do significant damage. What do you think? All right. So now we're done with stage 42. There we have it. So I talked about stage 40, 41, and 42. I talked about my main setups that I used it with the heroes, and then I also talked about alternate setups. So I hope this really helped you if you're stuck in a certain area like stage 40, 41, or 42. I know 41 is an absolutely beast. Sorry I couldn't come up with any alternate builds with that setup. And then again, I want to give another shout out to Taz Devil TV. The link will be down below. He does some great videos on Heroes of History. Go to his channel, subscribe, and watch his videos. He's got some great stuff. And that's it. As usual, hit the thumbs up, like, subscribe. Definitely more videos coming out.